side of the microphone, from the green light to the speed trap, Ray Carino and Joe D calls them as they sees them, and you better believe them. Here's relevant news, biased opinion, and outright nonsense regarding every aspect of automotive culture. Gas with mechanical trickery never before broadcast over FCC-regulated airwaves. Thrilled to the explosive tension as Ray and Joe cuss each other down track, barrel roll across the finish line, laughing at certain disaster as they shake hands with the devil. All that and so much more at high noon this Sunday on the Motormouth Radio Hour. Call in and speak live with the Wizards of Speed and the Live Feed, Ray Carino and Joe D. Bring the whole family. Kids under 12 get in free every Sunday at noon on WHPC. Take the Hempstead Turnpike to the Meadowbrook Parkway and look for the no parking on the expressway and no express service on the Parkway sign. Go right on Highway 24 to Garden City. $2 all-day parking includes pit pass.
Go! Sun, 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 sun. I live for the sun.
I don't know about you. I'm trying to live for the sun. I don't see any.
Yeah, I don't know. It kind of snuck out for a little bit yesterday, but
that was yesterday.
Back, yeah.
So here on the sunless Motormouth Radio Show, Long Island's only automotive talk show, you have your host, Ray Guarino, his co-host, Wingman and XO. The man at the con when I step out to do some Romulan business is Mr. Joe D.
Hey, good morning.
Good to see you again today, Joe. Always a pleasure.
Yeah, well, it's always fun to get together, sit there, swap horror stories and sometimes pictures.
Absolutely,
you know
we did.
Yeah, we should make that more of a secure, encrypted because we don't need any evidence laying around.
You got that right.
Happens,
Very true.
So what we got going on today, Ray?
Well, we got a catch-up day. We're going to actually we're scheduled to talk to Mr. Nick DiUlio from the Insurance Institute. He'll be calling in to talk about insurance trends. We do this every once in a while. We keep these guys in the loop. Until then, you can get in touch with us at 516-572-7440 or check us out on the web, motormouthradio.com. You can follow us on Twitter at motormouthradio or on Instagram, which is real_motormouthradio. And,
yeah, we're all over the place now.
And Facebook. Vacio Bruto, we're on there too.
Yeah, you can't get away.
No, that's true.
That's it. Pretty much, it's you can't not go on an electronic device and not find us putzing around out there, putting up all kinds of fun stuff, and thanks to our social media mogul there.
Yes, absolutely. We have been prompted in the right direction.
Yes, I've been managing to find the on switch on most of my devices. That's about it. The rest of it we just leave to people who are much more talented and into that stuff.
Well, I actually was told that through sources that you're doing a good job at that. You've been posting stuff up there. You've been putting stuff up, as have I.
Yeah.
And of course, the cool thing is nobody knows who's actually doing it.
Exactly. Yeah. See,
because you, myself, or our web director, he could do it too. And if you're really sharp, you can tell who it's not, maybe. If you really know us, you could tell who it's not.
You could tell the styles, yeah, that kind of thing.
But I think for the casual observer or the people who are new to the feed, there's a couple new followers on Twitter that caught on. They wouldn't know. And the idea is then call us and get involved with this, and and we'll talk. We'll get to know you. You'll get to know us.
Yeah, right. And there's some funny stuff out there. Actually, I'm thinking of starting to carry around one of those strap-on video cameras, that...
oh, really?
Yeah, you strap it to your head, and, you ever see those guys that do YouTube videos, like, say, Scanadana or Eric the Car Guy? And, there's a few of them out there, and I was always wondering how they manage to document what they do, because some of the stuff that I see in the course of a day, it would make for some interesting stuff on the various social medias there, but although it would probably be an hour, would probably have to be edited down to about maybe 6 minutes once you take out the obscenities and insults. And
I have to tell you, I have seen some of those guys who do the video camera on the head, and some of the guys who use a handheld like a phone, and because I watched a couple of I want to see a specific procedure or something, and you Google it and you find it on YouTube. And if the first thing I see, if I see the camera come like swooshing from the side and then it's doing this while he's, guys holding the camera and trying to do something with his other hand, I'm tapping out. It's like, no, you know what?
Yeah, that's what makes me crazy. It makes me nauseous too a little bit.
Exactly.
It's like,
the head one is the same thing because now the guy's moving and bobbing and weaving. It's like you're in the ring with Rocky,
Yo, Adrian.
Yeah. I want to be Apollo Creed and just get whack.
Mentally irregular after that.
Yeah, exactly.
But there is something to be said for that because sometimes I know I come across some pretty cool stuff. Like yesterday.
You do.
Yesterday they threw a 2014 or 2015 Mitsubishi Outlander. And I'm like, okay, what's the matter? It's got no brake lights.
Okay.
I'm like, it's like a 15. Send it back. It's under warranty. No, customer wants us to do it. I'm like, okay. So go and look at the car. And of course the boss puts his, why don't you check the fuse? Because first thing I'm doing is I'm sitting down and I'm looking at the wiring diagram. I'm going, maybe you're right. So I go out to the car. And sure enough, there's no brake lights.
Okay.
And then
all three of them?
Well, you see that's the fun part because I couldn't tell because I'm sitting in the car, with no way of seeing how the brake lights are working.
You got to back up to a 7-Eleven.
Right. or something. So actually, I just grabbed the oil change kit and I say, "Here, stand there, count the lights."
Okay. Yeah, that's good. That's good.
And he's like, "There's only one light." I says, "There are supposed to be 3 lights. There's only one light."
Okay.
There are 4 lights. And then Star Trek reference.
Right.
So basically, at that point, I'm like, huh? So, of course, I checked the fuse just for the hell of it. And the wiring diagram shows, well, everything goes through, but the center light works. And I'm like, this is like I said, a 14, 15 car, pretty clean.
Right.
Doesn't look like it was hit or nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So I pull out the one taillight, and sure enough, there's power going to the stoplight while the kid's stepping on the brake pedal.
Okay.
I pull out the other one, there's power stepping on the brake pedal.
And you determined that with the test light?
Yes.
Okay.
Good old-fashioned test light, scope on a rope, as some people refer to
I
it.
like that.
Yeah, that's Erico from South Maine on YouTube there. He's one of my favorites.
That should go in the Motor Mouth Radio decoder, scope on a rope.
Scope on a rope, yeah.
Yeah.
And I pull out and I go, wait a minute, these are new bulbs.
New, as in...
NEW.
Never
ever worked. And
right.
I'm like, wait a second. And I'm looking, it's like 1157.
Oh, no, that's wrong.
1157 on like a late model car.
That's what goes in our cars.
Right, exactly. And so I'm like, but it's a dual contact bulb. Start doing a little research. Find the Mitsubishi part number, spend the next 5 minutes cross-referencing that to like a generic part number. They're 1034s.
Oh, wow.
And the contacts and the pins, basically what it is, even though the 1157s fit in there just fine, is that everything just kind of rotates just a little bit off, and now the bottom contacts are not touching.
Right.
And found a couple 1034s rattling around the bin.
Yeah.
The boss is like, what do you want those for? Do you want? Yeah, I said, I don't see them. Let me, order me something. He said, no, we got them. I got them. He's opening up his drawer. He's, taking out his bottle.
It's 127 numbers is lower than what we should have, right?
Pop, done.
Yeah. Easy.
Yeah, piece of cake.
See, now the thing is, here's where there's that disconnect between... There's a lot of disconnects in this business, but there's a disconnect between a shop owner and the technician.
Right.
Where this guy is presumably paying a technician rate for something that an idiot should have been able to figure out, but it took someone of your caliber to actually do that.
Because they were
so good for him.
Yeah, because he had the stoplight switch there. He had all the stuff ready to go. I'm like,
right.
Stop. Think.
Brake control modules, master cylinder, proportioning valve. Yes, we are fixed.
Yeah, but it's just like this doesn't make any sense. And the giveaway was the third light. Looking at the wiring diagram, it's like, well, if the third light works, the fuse is good, the switch is good, the wiring's good.
Right.
The ground was good.
Yeah. The other half of the T-shirt worked.
Hey, that's it.
See, that's why I asked you originally, because I know that there's the reason that's a third brake light is so it works independently if the other ones go out.
Well, actually, this one, strangely enough, is redundant.
Right.
It's not redundant.
It's
like
not
a lot
redundant.
of cars.
Which is kind of redundant.
Yeah, but a stupid little thing like, oh, the guy probably, I think the owner might have tried to fix this.
Okay.
Or another shop, not sure, but they two nice branded new Philips long life bulbs.
Right.
Nothing, because they were not the ones for the car. These days, there's no more generic.
Yeah.
Give me a couple of stoplight bulbs. Give me, give me a couple of headlight bulbs. All that stuff is all different now.
We try to explain to people that not even oil or transmission fluid or coolant is generic anymore.
They laugh at you.
I know.
They laugh at you. We were having that discussion about coolant in a late model Ford, and this particular guy had the coolant in there since 2009, 2008, whatever the year of the car was. But the stuff was clear, past the freezing point, not excessive pH or anything like that.
Right.
You know what I mean? But it was only ever topped off with the correct Ford coolant.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And that's what happens when you mix stuff.
Yeah.
Mixing stuff is bad, especially antifreeze.
Yeah.
Like, I know that orange Dexcool with plus green regular antifreeze equals brown mud.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
I actually seen that.
Unlike Mud's women, this would be Mud's
not nearly
goop.
as pretty.
No, not nearly. That's the thing. I brought down to the shop last week. I got this. It's a nice little round cylinder full of litmus paper test strips. One half does brake fluid, the other half does coolant. And I explained how now you can show a customer when you walk up to the car, and I just open the hood, I'm like, bad brake fluid, but you can see it. It's coffee. No.
Yeah, exactly.
And try to explain to somebody why that's bad and why they should pay to have it flushed. But now you can do the litmus paper test and show them right on the thing. Everybody knows how to do a pool test, pretty much. That's what it is like.
Yeah.
So you show them, like, okay, the brake fluid is full of copper. That's way off the scale. It's purple. And, you can show the coolant the other way as acidic.
Well, that's maintenance. Yeah, that should be done.
So that's a nice little visual thing you can show people to
and you got to use the right stuff there too. Although brake fluid is fairly standardized,
right.
You just sometimes, like, the better stuff, quote unquote, like the silicone brake fluid and whatnot.
Right, 5 and 5A.
You don't want to be messing with that in a lot of cars. I know on cars with, like, say, hydraulic stoplight switches, it just eats them alive. Next thing you know, you have, usually
ask Paul.
Yeah, right. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Our buddy Pirate Paul went through out on his dune buggy with original. He was using Bosch switches, I think, right? From for the VW.
Well, what happens there is, I know the ones from my company are also what they don't like that stuff is because when they were engineered, 1,000 years ago, what happened is that stuff didn't exist, and the materials were not. They didn't exist, and nobody updated it because, for the most part, people like that tend to stick with what came in the car down to the original fluids.
It's kind of hard to design something for something that doesn't exist. Unless you have that time continuum thing where you can go forward and say, okay, in 30 years, what are they going to be using?
Time machines for these guys are doing different things like, is it time to go home yet?
There you go. What time is lunch?
They couldn't kill us about what brake fluid you're going to use.
Yeah, exactly.
So basically it comes down to use the right stuff. And when it comes to things like fuses, bulbs, headlight, taillight, whatever, your owner's manual is your friend. That stuff is in there.
Yeah.
All right. You may want to bookmark it ahead of time. Put a little scrap of paper in there so you can find it. Because just wandering into, these days, the auto parts store is pretty much want to be one of the mass market retailer types there. And you're not going to get, you grab something off the pegboard, off the hook, whatever, and you walk over and you pay for it. And I know from being a parts guy for a long time is that if somebody walks up with something that didn't quite look right, I'm like, oh, that's kind of strange. What kind of car you got there? Yeah. Or if you know the customer, no, that doesn't go in your Ford. Right. I think you should go grab the other, whether it be fluid or bulbs or something like that. Exactly. But if you don't know, look it up. Especially anything in the last 15 years or so. Because before that, taillight bulbs, everything was an 1157, pretty much.
And 56 for the
right? And headlights were you got the 4, you got the 2. It's a big deal, right? But
they threw us a curve and they made them rectangular.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you know what?
I suck at geometry, so that really killed me.
We're going to throw a curve now. We're going to bust out our surfboards, take a quick break, and hopefully come back with Nick. Yeah, well, you'll see. We're going to start catch that wave that's coming in right behind you, and you'll see why. And we'll be back with Nick DiUlio in a minute. Keep that drum beat going, Joe.
Is that what I think it's going to be?
Almost. We'll be right. Well, not Wipeout. We're right back on Motor Mouth Radio.